Planning your own funeral in advance is a genuinely loving thing to do. It spares your family from making expensive decisions in the worst week of their lives. It locks in your wishes, and it can ease a real financial burden. Millions of people do it, and most who sell it are honest. But prepaying for a service you won't receive for years, one your family can't easily verify, and that you'll never be there to confirm, creates a gap that dishonest operators exploit. This chapter is about closing that gap. Here's the truth. Pre-planning a funeral is wise. Prepaying without protections is where the risk lives. The money must be safeguarded in a state-regulated trust or an insurance policy, never simply handed to a business and trusted to still be there in 15 years. The core problem is timing. You pay now. The service is delivered in an unknown year, possibly decades later, possibly in a different state, possibly after the business has changed hands or closed. So the question that matters isn't, do I trust this funeral director? It's, where does my money physically sit until it's needed, and who is watching it? Now, where does it go wrong? The money isn't protected. Funds are supposed to go into a regulated trust or a funeral insurance policy. When they're spent by the business instead, the family discovers at the worst possible moment that nothing was set aside. Most states regulate this, but rules and protection levels vary considerably. The business closes or is sold, and the new owner disputes the contract or has no record of it. The contract wasn't what you thought. Guaranteed price versus non-guaranteed is an enormous difference. In the second, your family may face large additional charges anyway. Nobody can find the paperwork. This is the single most common practical failure. The plan exists, and the family doesn't know about it. Money paid, service purchased, never claimed. You move, and the plan isn't portable to your new location. Or an outright fraud. A pre-need seller who takes payments for services never registered anywhere. Now, here are your protections. Federal and state rules give you more standing than most people know. The FTC's funeral rule requires funeral homes to give you an itemized price list and lets you buy only what you want. You cannot be required to purchase a package. You may buy a casket elsewhere, and the funeral home cannot charge a fee for handling it. And most states regulate prepaid funeral funds, often requiring a set percentage to be held in trust. Your state funeral board or attorney general's office can tell you the rules where you live. So here's what to do. Pre-plan freely. Prepay carefully. Writing down your wishes costs nothing and delivers most of the benefit. Ask exactly where the money goes. A state-regulated trust or an insurance policy in your name. Get the answer in writing, with the trustee or insurer named. Insist on an itemized price list. You're right under the funeral rule, and a written contract stating what's guaranteed and what isn't. Consider a payable on-death bank account instead, naming a trusted person. The money stays in your bank, in your control, and is released quickly at death. Tell your family the plan exists and where the paperwork is. An unclaimed plan is money thrown away. Check the seller with your state funeral board and the Attorney General's office before paying anything. And never pay in cash or to an individual rather than the licensed business. Here's what I do. I do the planning and be much more careful about the paying, writing down exactly what I want, choosing the funeral home, getting itemized prices. All of that spares my family the hard decisions, and none of it requires handing over money years early. If I did prepay, I'd ask one question and refuse to move until it was answered in writing. Where does this money physically sit until it's needed? And who regulates it? A trust or an insurance policy in my name? Yes. We'll take care of it. Never. and I'd seriously consider a payable on death account instead, since that keeps the funds in my own bank while still reaching my family immediately. Above all, I'd make sure my family knew the plan existed and where the papers were. The most common way prepaid funerals fail isn't fraud. It's that nobody knew to claim them. So let's practice. A pleasant salesman offers a complete peace of mind package, one payment now, everything handled forever, and a discount if you sign this week. You ask two questions. May I see an itemized price list? And where exactly will my money be held and who regulates it? He's vague on the second and mentions the discount again. That's your answer. You keep your checkbook closed, write down your wishes at home for free, and if you still want to prepay, you check the seller with your state funeral board first. The deadline was never real. Your leverage was.